एग्जाम पे चर्चा में आपका स्वागत है। आज हमारे पास हरनूर कौर है जो 10th ऑफ अगस्त को एग्जाम दे के आई हैं। लेट्स टॉक टू हरनूर एंड आस्क हर अबाउट द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द एग्जाम। ओवर टू हरनूर। हरनूर, अपने बारे में कुछ बताएं पहले।
So my name is Haronoor Kaur and I have recently completed my senior secondary from Kendra Vidyalaya, Khasa, Amritsar, and I had given my IELTS exam on 10th of August.
राइट, सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट योर आईएलटीएस एग्जाम। तो हरनूर, पहले तो मुझे बताएं कि आपका क्या प्लान है आगे। वेयर डू यू वांट टू गो?
So I want to go in Canada to pursue my career in field of accountancy.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So now let us go to our examination. The examination was held on 10th of August 2023. It was IELTS academic module, and you are watching Exam Pe Charcha. We have a lot of social media present, so you should follow our channel, Webberz Educomp Limited. You can comment, like, share. It's all free of cost and very educative. We have this world-class blog. You can find a lot of information here, and we have this Instagram handle, which you can follow and get all the global news for the international examinations. Face-to-face speaking आपकी हुई 15 से 20 मिनट के बारे में। हरनूर, इसके बारे में बताएं हमें क्या था?
So in the introduction part, there were questions about hometown, space, as well as happiness, and there were about 6 to 7 questions. And the cross questioning started from the beginning of the introduction.
Okay, what about the cue card?
Cue card was about a topic, describe an actor who has played a role in a film.
And how long was it?
It was about 2 minutes.
Okay.
I just.
What was the discussion about?
So discussion was about acting of the actors in a movie while they are shooting or acting in a theater. So basically it was a differentiate between both of them.
So Harnoor, was the examiner wearing a mask or were you wearing a mask?
No, sir. I was also not wearing a mask and nobody was wearing mask there, even not staff.
How do you say the overall speaking was? What was the level of the speaking?
Sir, speaking was actually moderate because there were a lot of cross questioning, so it was difficult for me to.
So it was moderate to tough.
Yes, sir, moderate to tough.
Okay, let's talk about your writing now. Please explain us the writing.
So in the task 1, there was a map of a station street and it was easy. But in task 2, there was a question in which there was a statement about some studies have shown that most of the crime rate is increasing due to the lack of education among criminals. So for this reason, some people believe that educating the criminals in prison can reduce the crime rate, so that it can also increase the chance of getting job in prisoners when they leave the prison. So there was about it was to what extent do you agree or disagree, and its level was moderate.
Okay, so Harnoor, this question seems to be very tough. The part 2 seems to be very tough. So what did you write in it? क्या लिखा आपने इसके अंदर?
So actually, I wasn't having enough point in my mind about agreeing with the statement or disagreeing. So I just went partially agree. In the body paragraph 1, I just wrote about why education is important. Like it can teach the prisoners differentiate between the right and wrongdoing, as well as it can also teach basic moral values. But in body paragraph 2, I just write down like education is not the sole factor which decide the crime rate will decrease. There are another factor which also describe this.
Right. So now let us go to next part that is called as listening. So please explain us about the listening now.
So in the part 1, there was a topic about drama course application form. There were 2 callers and they were asking questions, and there were only fill in the blanks, which were to be answered in only 1 word.
Okay. And what was the speed of the listening?
It was at fast speed.
Okay, let's talk about part 2 now.
In part 2, there were MCQs as well as map.
Okay.
And map was tough. In the part third, there were MCQs, and it was about the presentation of the students, and there were a lot of options, they were lengthy. So it is not easy for one to go through all the options.
Right. And what about part 4?
There were blanks about a topic on glue worms. It was easy because they were to be answered in only one word.
So what I can make out from overall listening was moderate to tough. Am I right?
Yes.
So were you nervous in the listening?
Yes, sir. Actually, I was a bit nervous.
A bit nervous in the listening. Okay. All right. So let's go to our next part called as reading. Yes. So this was your reading. So explain me about the reading now.
Sir, in the passage 1, there was a topic of classifying societies, and it was moderate. But to my surprise, I had done it in the class, so I was happy at that moment.
Right.
Then there were yes questions about true, false, not given, as well as fill-ups.
Part 2.
The topic was undoing our emotions, and the level was moderate, but there were a lot of list of headings and fill-ups and list of people.
What about part 3?
Part 3 was about a manuscript, but the level of the passage third was really tough because there were a list of people. The questions related to list of people were only 4, but the names were given 10. So it was really difficult for one to get out the exact answer.
Right. So overall reading, what would you rate overall reading?
So overall reading was tough. I can call it tough.
Moderate to tough.
Yes, moderate to tough.
Okay. So what do you say the overall exam was?
So overall exam was moderate to tough.
Okay. And what about the masks? Nobody wore a mask?
No, sir. Nobody was.
In listening, reading, writing, speaking, no masks were there?
No, sir.
All right. Harnoor, my last question to you. What is the advice that you give to our audience?
So I just want to give all of my audience an advice, like one should not get nervous when going for an examination, because we all have worked hard for that exam. So there is no need to get nervous at the time.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Harnoor. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, sir.